Welcome back to Grammar Grade 10. This is Unit 4, Lesson 27, and today we're taking a whole clause and putting it to work as an adjective. It sounds fancy, but you already do this every day. Every time you say, the movie that we watched, or my neighbor who paints houses, you're using an adjective clause. Today we'll learn how to spot one, how to see what it modifies, and, the part that matters most on paper, when it needs commas and when it absolutely does not. Let's start with the definition and then a sentence to hang it on. An adjective clause is a subordinate clause that modifies a noun or a pronoun. Here's a sentence. The book that I borrowed is overdue. Strip it down and the core is simple. The book is overdue. But sitting right in the middle is a whole clause, that I borrowed. It has its own subject, I, and its own verb, borrowed. So what is that clause actually doing? Ask the question, which book? The one I borrowed. The clause reaches back and modifies the noun, book. That's the heart of it. An adjective clause tells you which one, or what kind, exactly the way a single adjective would. Only instead of one small word, you get a whole clause doing an adjective's job. So how do these clauses usually begin? Most adjective clauses begin with a relative pronoun. You met this family back in the pronoun lesson. Who, whom, whose, which, and that. Here's what makes a relative pronoun special. It does two jobs at the same time. It works inside its own little clause, as a subject, or an object, or a possessive. And at the same time, it points back to the noun it modifies. Think of it as a hook that grabs the noun. Which pronoun you choose depends on what you're talking about. For people, reach for who, whom, or whose. For things and animals, reach for which or that. Listen to the pair. The pilot who landed the jet stayed perfectly calm. The jet, which had lost an engine, came down anyway. In both sentences, the relative pronoun links the clause to its noun. Now let's practice the real skill. Find the clause, then find the word it modifies. The scientist who found the comet spoke first. Where does the clause start? At the relative pronoun who, and it runs all the way through comet. So the adjective clause is, who found the comet? Now ask, which scientist? The one who found the comet. So the clause modifies the noun, scientist, which is sitting right in front of it. Notice that position because it's a gift to you. An adjective clause almost always hugs the word it modifies. Now the second one. Anyone who wants a ticket must sign up. The clause is who wants a ticket, and this time it doesn't modify a noun at all. It modifies a pronoun, the word anyone. That is perfectly normal, and it happens all the time. There are two more openers you need to know. An adjective clause can also begin with where or when. Take the diner, where we first met. That clause, where we first met, tells you which diner. Or the summer when the river froze. Which summer? The one when the river froze. Now, those words look like they're pointing at place and time, so people want to call them adverbs. Don't be fooled. They're still adjectives because they still tell you which one. And here's one more quirk that catches people out. Sometimes the relative pronoun is simply dropped. We say, the book I read last night, and the clause is still sitting there, I read last night, with an invisible that in front of it. So if you can slip a that or a whom back in and the sentence still works, you are looking at an adjective clause. Now for the part that shows up on every editing test, the commas. Adjective clauses come in two flavors, and the flavor decides the punctuation. First flavor. An essential clause is needed to identify which one you mean. Pull it out and the sentence loses its point. Because it is doing necessary work, an essential clause takes no commas at all, and it usually begins with that. Second flavor. A non-essential clause is different. It adds extra, interesting information, but the sentence already knows exactly which one it's talking about. Since the clause is bonus material, you set it off with commas, and it usually begins with which. So here's the shortcut that will save you again and again. That takes no commas, which takes commas. Learn that little pair and half the work is already done. Let me show you the test on a real pair of sentences. Sentence 1. The bike that I rented had a flat tire. Now lift the clause out and read what's left. The bike had a flat tire. Which bike? You have no idea. The clause was carrying the identification all by itself, so it is essential, and an essential clause gets no commas. Sentence 2. My bike, which I rented, had a flat tire. Lift that clause out and read what's left. My bike had a flat tire. Do we still know which bike? Of course we do. It's mine. The clause was only adding a detail, so it is non-essential, and non-essential clauses get commas on both sides. That's the whole test, and it never fails. Lift it out. If you still know exactly which one, use commas. If the sentence goes blurry, leave the commas off. Let's boil all of that down into 3 moves you can run on any sentence. Move 1. Find the opener. Who, whom, whose, which, that. Or a where or a when. That word marks where the clause begins. Move 2. Ask the adjective questions. Which one? What kind? The answer points you straight at the noun or the pronoun that the clause is modifying. Move 3. Lift the clause out and reread the sentence. If you still know exactly which one is meant, the clause is extra, so wrap it in commas. If the sentence suddenly goes vague on you, the clause is essential, and you use no commas at all. 3 moves every time. Let's try a few together. In this first set, I'll give you a sentence and you find the adjective clause, or the word it's modifying. Pause the video and decide before I reveal each answer. The car that Nina restored won the show. Look for the opener. There it is. That. The clause runs from that through restored, so the adjective clause is that Nina restored. And which car? The one Nina restored. It modifies the noun car. I remember the day when the power went out. This one opens with when, and that still counts. Which day do I remember? The day the power went out. So the adjective clause is when the power went out. She thanked the guide who led the hike. The clause is who led the hike, but what does it modify? Ask the adjective question. Which guide? The one who led the hike. And notice it sits right beside that word. The clause modifies the noun guide. Now the punctuation. For each sentence, lift the adjective clause out and ask yourself, do I still know exactly which one is meant? Then decide whether the clause is essential with no commas or non-essential with commas. Pause and try each before I answer. The tools that the crew needs are missing. Lift the clause out. The tools are missing. Which tools? We have no idea. The whole world of tools is missing. So the clause is doing identifying work. The answer is essential. No commas. Our garage, which floods every spring, needs a new door. Lift the clause out. Our garage needs a new door. Do we still know which garage? Of course, ours. The clause is just bonus information, and it even opens with which. The answer is non-essential. Use commas. Students who arrive late must sign in at the office. Lift the clause out. Students must sign in at the office. Now every single student has to sign in, and that changes the meaning completely. The clause is telling us which students, so the answer is essential, no commas. Let's gather it all up. An adjective clause is a subordinate clause that modifies a noun or a pronoun, and it tells you which one or what kind. The same job a single adjective does. It usually opens with a relative pronoun, who, whom, whose, which, or that. And it can also open with where or when. Sometimes that pronoun is dropped altogether, but the clause is still there. And the punctuation comes down to one question. Lift the clause out, and do you still know which one? If yes, the clause is non-essential, and you set it off with commas. That's your which. If no, the clause is essential, and it takes no commas. That's your that. In the next lesson, we'll look at adverb clauses, which modify verbs instead. I'll see you there.